Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Dave's Movie Dailies. I'm Dave D. Saint, and I'm here to talk to you about my second movie that I'm going to talk to you about today. It was released on January 19th, 2024. I believe you can find it on Fandango or Prime. You can rent it. And the name of the movie is called Presence. And it's directed by Steven Soderbergh. And it's starring Lucy Liu, Chris Sullivan, Kalina Liang, and a bunch of other people that I never really heard or I never really seen in movies. So, this movie is a ghost movie. Now, you would say, oh, a ghost movie, this must be like a horror or a thriller or some kind of a scary movie. This wasn't really that scary. You're seeing everything through the point of view of a ghost. So the movie opens up again. If you haven't seen this movie and you want to see it, you have your warning. There's a spoiler alert. You got 5 seconds to stop it here, go watch the movie, and then come back and see if my opinions go along with what you saw. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You've been warned. So this movie starts off with the point of view of like the camera view of eyes moving through an empty house. As time goes by, this family ends up moving into this house. And it turns out to be Lucy Liu's family. If you guys know who Lucy Liu is, she did a lot of early 2000 movies. She was in Charlie's Angels. She's been in a lot of movies. So her family moves into this house, and the daughter realizes that there's something there because she feels a presence of something in her room. And it almost looks like the presence is constantly keeping a visual on her. So she feels it, and then she tries to tell her mother and her father, and they take her as like she's just disturbed or whatever the case, until it actually becomes more serious. Like there's a scene where she's going to take a shower, and these books start to fly by her bed, and she closes the books on her bed, and then she comes out of the shower. She realizes that she had left the books open, and she's like, what the heck? So those aspects that could be scary or horrifying weren't really horrifying, because the thing is, at this point, you're seeing through the eye view of the ghost. So throughout the whole movie, the ghost is witnessing everything that you're seeing is through the eyes of the ghost. So she sees the girl. She sees the girl's brother bringing friends over. What the mother and the father are doing. All these different things, but the main focus is on the teenage girl. Later on, we find out that supposedly her best friend, the main girl's best friend, was killed by somebody. And then when the teenage girl starts to realize that there's something inside the house, she realizes that maybe her friend is the one who's keeping an eye on her house and, keeping an eye on her. So throughout the movie, she starts to become very close to her brother's friend, to the point where she starts to, divulge in like a little teenage play, and she invites him over and all that stuff, and she starts to like have she starts to be intimate with him and all this other stuff, while the ghost is there watching everything, and she realizes that there's something there, but she doesn't kind of care. But the ghost starts to realize that this kid is not who he says he is, her brother's friend, not who he says he is, and he has some other type of intentions. His intentions, he's like I said, he's very devious. He's very sick in the head. You find out that he was the one who killed the girl who's the ghost, and that he wants to kill the teenage girl. If it wasn't for the ghost, he most likely would have gone away with it, because of the fact that he drugged. There was one night where he was hanging out with the brother, and he ended up drugging the brother with some kind of a drink, and then he ended up taking the drink upstairs to the girl, who at this point, she already had stated that besides them having that one day of intimacy, or maybe they had a couple more, I don't know, it was just as one point that we see them doing stuff in the room. She says she doesn't want to have anything else with him, and she cuts it off. So he goes over there and he tries to make a peace offering with her and everything, and he takes a drink. It's like an orange juice mixed with vodka, but he puts some kind of sleeping drug in there, and then he ends up knocking her out. And at that point, he's starting to fill her up, and he's doing all this stuff, and he's about to literally kill her. He's literally choking the crap out of her. The ghost is witnessing all this, and she runs downstairs to where the brother's passed out because he's drugged too, and the ghost starts to do a bunch of noise and knocking things down to wake him up until the brother wakes up and groggy and just out of sorts. He starts to run upstairs because he hears something, and the moment that he breaks through the door, he sees his friend trying to kill his sister. So he like tackles him out the window, and they both fall to their death. Lucy Liu comes home and witnesses her son is dead. So it skips to like after the funeral, and they're moving out of the house, and Lucy Liu ends up taking one last look into a mirror inside the house, and she sees her son inside the house, the ghost of the son, and the movie ends. This movie, it was made to seem like it was going to be like a scary horror types movie, but in all reality, it was more of it was kind of like what's it called, thriller, maybe like a whodunit type story. Like the ghost needed to prove that it's like the movie Lovely Bones. The little girl, Saoirse Ronan, she was lost, and she needed for people to find her body in order for her spirit to be at ease. That's what I felt like this movie was like. Like the ghost of the girl who died needed for people to know that this kid was the murderer, and that's the only way her soul would be at peace. And then at the end of the movie, I don't think that would be necessarily a sequel setup, because I mean, we all know who killed the son. They both fell out the window. He kind of killed himself because they both fell to their death. But it was it was an okay movie. It wasn't great. It was kind of boring, but it was something new, something different that I haven't seen any movies like that. I mean, except for Ghost with Patrick Swayze, but that wasn't really. You get to see the story of Patrick Swayze's ghost with him trying to figure out who killed him or whatever the case. In this one, you don't ever see the ghost. And it wasn't a love story. Well, I guess you can say it was a love story because maybe it was her best friend who was trying to, save her from the same death that she received. But yeah, this has been Dave D. Saints. Oh, from a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8. An 8, no, 7.5 going to an 8, because the movie, although it was kind of boring and dull, and obviously it just felt so out of place. Like you're watching this movie and it felt like you're putting these characters and everything. Again, no backstory. You get a sense that maybe the killer was their friend and all this stuff, but it's just like you kind of finish watching the movie and you just don't care. You don't care. You didn't really watch anything that you want to speak about. So I give it a 7.5. The acting was okay. It just falls on the wayside for me. It's not one of those movies that I would like to repeat over and be like, hey guys, you want to come watch this movie? This movie's great. But yeah, this has been Dave D. Saint with another Dave's Movie Dailies. I will see you next time. And this is me saying good night. Like I said, see you next time.